Hello and welcome to my breakdown of Update 2 for Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. It was requested that I do these types of videos when an update comes out for the game, and I actually love going over these types of patch notes, so let's get into it. Hello survivors, welcome to the second content update for Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. This update features several new enemies, new revamped boss encounters, tons of new overclocks, and much more. If you want to play the update spoiler-free, you should just go ahead and close these update notes and fire up the game. We hope you enjoy it. Features. New boss encounter, the Dreadnought Twins. There is now a chance that you will meet the Dreadnought Twins instead of just the plain old Dreadnought. 5. The twins consist of two smaller glyphid Dreadnoughts, the Arbalist and the Lacerator. The Lacerator will charge you and deal damage in melee range. The Arbalist shoots deadly fireballs at you from range. In higher hazard levels, these abilities become more and more intense. The twins have separate health bars and will heal each other if the difference in their remaining health becomes too large. So you get a little picture here of what it looks like to fight them both. It's going to be pretty intense, I think, by the looks of it. Scrolling down, they reworked the original Dreadnought fight in an effort to not make the old Dreadnought jealous. The newborn twins, we have given it some new abilities. You'll always be our special bug. Oh, isn't that nice? The first new ability is the Trembling Stomp, which shoots out a tight cone of spikes that trap you until you dig through them. The second is the Swarm Bladder attack, a ranged projectile attack where the Dreadnought spits out a cocoon that bursts open and spawns a pack of glyphids. Much like the twins, these abilities scale with hazard levels. So that's kind of neat. So the boss definitely is going to get more difficult now as you raise up the hazard level. Not just more tanky, but more dangerous. We got new Shellback, new Elite Shellback. In Update 1, we added the Youngling. Is it Kronar? And a mini Elite version. We now have the Elite version of the Shellback. And it's toxic as hell, so it's spitting out some toxic. Like its younger sibling, it can roll through rocks, but it has also evolved acid spit attack that shoots beams of acid towards you. Can be found on hazard 2 and up. Okay, that's good to know. But wait. Oh, I thought it was just gonna be salt pits. Oh, okay. Caverns, core, and pits. Okay, good to know. Now we have the Hoarder. Get ready to hear the characteristic jingling of the clown car. The Hooly Hoarder has made its way into the game, and you don't want to miss this one. The loot crate it drops when you exterminate it can contain gold, nitro, weapon upgrades, and even rare artifacts. Finally, an enemy that doesn't run towards you. I did actually do a video with this. It's kind of neat, and I did get it's some pretty cool upgrades. This is really awesome. This was a much requested thing. More stats, right? New inspect screen. We have had a ton of requests for more information about damage calculations, so we have added a weapon inspection screen that can be accessed by pausing a run. On the screen, you can see how the weapon works, how the damage of the weapon is calculated, and what the overclocks are doing, etc. So it's a really nice breakdown, lots of math. I don't really pay too much attention to it myself, like the math. It's like, okay, damage number goes up, like for me. But if you're a person who really wants to get down to the fine details, I think this is really great. Now we have new weapon stats. Here's the rest of the update, right? All the different overclocks and everything. New weapon stats. We are introducing two new keywords in weapon descriptions: Pierce and Potency. That's a huge thing that they've added. Pierce is now a stat on projectile weapons. Increasing the Pierce stat will increase the amount of enemies that can be pierced by that weapon's projectiles. Now, what I would like is to know, we'll probably be able to figure this out, but like say 25% is pierced through 1, 50% is pierced through 2, right? How exactly is it calculated? I don't know. Potency is a new stat that affects the amount of status effect stacks that is applied by a weapon. For example, if you want to increase your chance to freeze an enemy, you want to apply as many stacks of cold as possible. And increasing potency is a great way to do that. So that's something fun that we could probably play around with. I think cold is going to be a huge one for that, right? Just being able to control the enemies more Sounds like a good idea. Now we're into the new overclocks. We've added a bunch of new overclocks, formatted here with the name and description of the overclock, and then a bullet point list of what weapons can receive the particular overclock. I will say this doesn't go into details about all the different, the actual stats applied in all the overclocks. I saw that with the Omni barrel that I did try out. So we have the Storm E Mag. The last bullet in the clip fires in all directions. That's on the carbine, the autocannon, and the stubby. Then we have the Knuckle Grip. Boomerang flies in an outward spiral before returning. That's just on the Stun Sweeper. Crisis Protocol. This sounds kind of neat to me. I like the ones that they've added to the drones and to the grenades, I think. Drones rush to protect you when you take damage. So I like that. You can have it aggroed maybe, and then have the protocol as well as a backup, right? Because I don't like having them super defensive anyway. So the electric, cryo, and acid drones got love there. And we have the feedback harness, throws grenades when you take damage. Now, I don't know what the cooldown's like on that. Because, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, if that's just how that works, we're going to be able to tank damage and chuck grenades like crazy. Incendiary, high explosive, and neurotoxin. The favorite, that is one that was already in the game, but they've added it to a bunch more. You really like this one. Different stat upgrades. So it gives a bunch of stat upgrades, but will also, I believe, nerf your other weapons. So the cryo grenade, guided rocket system, seismic repulsor, the smart rifle, the deep core, the PGL deep core, and the plasma burster. All got that. The Omni barrel fires in 8 directions, the Zukov and the BRT. So I did a video today with that, and like I said, these aren't showing the stats, right? So that added, I believe it was 200% reload speed and some damage on top of shooting in 8 directions. And then we have the spliced emitter, increased beam length and duration for the crisper and the cryo cannon. That sounds like something fun to do, right? You get both of those maxed out. Maybe try the spliced emitter on both. Could be cool. Runic warhead, even bigger explosions. I cringed when I first read this, but further down they mentioned that they've worked on the visual effects for explosions. Potent juice, greatly increased potency at the cost of impact damage for the cryo cannon and the neurotoxin grenade. Interesting on the cryo cannon. I have to try that out too. So they've given the cryo cannon quite a bit of love here. Impact punch greatly increases the impact damage at the cost of potency, and that's the stubby. Stubby got a lot on here too. Unlimited power, splits into multiple beams. That's the bug taser. I think it kind of got reworked, like almost the entire thing got reworked. General improvements, worked with the transparency of stat system, highlighting different stat modifier groups. So that's like when you go to upgrade your weapons now, everything's much more bright and colorful. I like it. I really dig it. Added a stage and hazard level widget. So it is now visible at all times during a run. You'll see that in the top left-hand corner of your runs now. Very nice little addition. Added more tooltips. I haven't really checked that out. Thor Bug Taser got a rework and is now a lot cooler. Gonna have to try that out. Plasma projectiles work with the piercing stat. That could be crazy. It could be really crazy. Worked on a bunch of explosion and ground zone visual effects to reduce screen clutter and improve visibility of other gameplay elements. That is huge. That was really probably my biggest complaint, was that it was almost punishing to play certain weapons and to get them powerful because you couldn't see what the hell was going on. So this is huge. I haven't tested it out much, but I think the fact that they've acknowledged that and are working on it is great. Added a retry button at the end of screen if the mission failed. I got to see that. It's nice that you can just click retry and go right back in. Equipped overclocks can now be viewed on pause and weapon inspect screens. I did notice that, which is nice to have. Then we have balance. We fixed a long-standing issue where enemies that were under the effect of knockback would take a double damage from most sources. I had no idea that was even happening. So that I didn't even know it was happening. Rebalanced weapons with knockback to account for the knockback fix. So that makes sense. I guess things were getting just destroyed because the weapons had knockback, and then when they fixed this, it nerfed the hell out of these weapons. So that makes sense that they probably had to buff the weapons a bit to get them to being usable. Because I imagine they become much, much worse without that. Fire, electrical, and acid weapon tag upgrades now apply extra stacks. Okay, that's good. That's so a flat out buff to those tags, which is good. Smart rifle, right? That's what this is. Locks on way faster, has knockback and improved fire rate, damage, and reload speed. So the whole thing got buffed, which is good because it's arguably the worst weapon in the game. We're gonna have to do a video on that for sure because it could be really cool. It just sucked. The gun platform now has a clip size of 20. Oh, they nerfed the hell out of it, which is fine because if you got the fire rate going on it, it was busted. An internal reload speed of 0.5 seconds, so it's not that bad, but still, that's a big nerf to those. Actually, in my mind, decrease the corrosion spread, effect radius from 2 to 1. So they nerfed that, right? OC drone mining damage, increased mining damage. Okay, so that's good from 10 to 15 because it didn't feel like it was worth taking when you had drone mining. Lead wrapped ammo reduces fire rate and reload speed by 20%. Okay, so that's a nerf to that one, right? One thing I would like to see is if it's a buff or a nerf. This is just my preference. I like it when in patch notes it says buffed this thing, nerfed this thing, or whatever you want to say, just so that it's more clear to me. But, you know, it is what it is. The favorite now modifies both reload speed and fire rate. Okay, so I guess that's probably a buff to the favorite. Cluster grenade now also affects potency if the weapon applies status effects. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Drone mining damage. Wait, didn't we already go over this? We did, right? Increase the amount of drone mining damage. Yeah. I think that's the same, right? Increase the amount of damage. Yeah. For whatever reason, it's in there twice. Reduce the HP of regenerating vines in the hollow bow significantly. So they nerfed the hollow bow or bow, and which is good. I think that map was considerably harder than all the rest. It was for me anyway. Change the way cold damage can freeze enemies. This results in a slight nerf for fast firing cold weapons. Oh, okay. While retaining the awesome freezing power of high potency cold weapons. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I noticed that during my video I did today with the Zukov with cold on, that it was a bit of a nerf. It really wasn't freezing for long, it felt like, or something. Something was weird. Rebalance the number of cryo status effects a weapon applies to make the new freeze status feel cool. Huh. Okay. We're gonna have to mess around with... They really reworked a lot of stuff here. And then bug fixes. We'll go over these bug fixes too. Look at all you guys liking these patch notes. Fixed an issue where the player could re-enter the drop pod just after arriving. Okay. Fixed a bunch of weapons showing too few stats on the pause screen. That was a thing for sure. Fixed an issue where Spitball Infector would shoot once when spawning, even outside the screen. Oh, okay. Fixed an issue where loot bugs would absorb all projectiles. Oh, I didn't notice any of these, but that would have been a nice one to know about. Fixed a rare issue where, actually no, that would be bad. All projectiles. I was thinking enemy projectiles, so they'd absorb all your bullets. Maybe I did encounter that. Fixed a rare issue where first-time players would not be able to choose a class mod. Okay, that's been around, yeah, since launch, right? Plasma Burster fixed explosion FX was not affected by explosion range upgrades. Visuals only. Okay. Experimental Plasma Charger fixed an issue where the projectile would not pierce through big swarms. Huh. Okay. Is the Plasma Burster and the Plasma Charger the same thing? Oh, wait, no, that's the grenade, right? I think. Arms Core Coil Gun fixed beam angle calculation, so when using multiple beams is now properly centered around the target. I think people like that. That was pointed out on a video that I did, that it wasn't great. Shredder Swarm Grenade fixed several performance issues with this weapon. There was definitely some. It was crazy. I remember walking around, it looked like I had a stack of pancakes on my head. the overclock conduit, fixed several performance issues with this overclock. We now limit how often the lightning explosion FX can appear when hitting friendly targets, but the damage logic still executes as often as before. That's awesome, because I felt like I couldn't run this thing on my computer because it was just crazy. Another thing with the conduit, fixed an issue that could actually cause a game to freeze. FPS drops might still occur, but the game should recover. This was especially prevalent when used in combination with the Shredder Swarm. Never did that. Then the drone mining damage, fixed an issue where it would not show up in the UI and could be equipped more than once. I did have that. Through TNT, fixed an issue where grenades with mining damage would do very little mining damage. Oh. Okay, well, I didn't know that was an issue. I just thought they sucked. Okay. I just thought they were terrible. Audio fixed very loud vine destruction sound when drop pod lands on a whole bunch of them. Fixed the wrong pickaxe sound playing when mining certain minerals. All right, that's the whole patch notes. Guys, let me know what you think. That took me 16 minutes to read the whole damn thing. Wow, and kind of react. I love this game. I love this patch. This is awesome. I'm sure we're going to encounter all kinds of bugs and stuff too along the way, but thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We play a ton of it here. Catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.